Mm. Hello. I shall say hello for the recording. I'll put it on YouTube. What you'll see is a part of a TikTok live stream. I'm currently... Someone has joined. Oh, it's my Canadian homie. How's it going, good friend? Living the dream, as they say. But no, I've been seeing some of your stuff come up on my page. I'm enjoying it a lot. A lot of nice looking snakes. Which, speaking of which, I don't know if you deal in any wholesale at all. But have you seen the fucking price of wholesale red-tailed boas recently? Damn. Did you have to feed, what size? Now I'm just curious what size. Like, are you is it because you're hatching a bunch of shit, so you're having to throw out, like, fuzzies and smalls and shit, or is it a bit of everything? And the rat's doing good. I'm having to run the fan when I'm over there because it keeps raining here, and the basement keeps flooding, so it's staying muggy and hot and humid, but they're still popping out babies. Wrap up mediums, 15 smalls for me. Damn! I wish I could have sold you that. That sounded like a fucking nice payday right there. God damn. But no, well, no, see, here's the issue with, the red tails, is what I'm talking about. See, normally, well, I was actually annoyed at the price. King, I didn't know you did lives too. Oh, I'm doing well. You actually got me into Critical Role. Because I had heard about it, and I listened to, like, the backstory episode in a podcast, and then you did your, like, I'm going to power through it thing, and I was like, maybe I can try that, and I just listened to it while I'm at work, and I'm enjoying it. I forget where I am, actually. My rat supplier can't keep me stocked. I buy, god damn, 150, 200 frozen at a time. Hello, Mike Wazowski. Yeah, my issue right now is I have a lot of large frozens, but I don't have a lot of small and medium frozens, because every time I get them going, like, I get smalls to try to raise in the mediums, I'll have my smalls get bought out, because everybody wants fucking smalls. I see you love balls, Mike Wazowski. I see that. But back to the thing I tried to start in the beginning with. The issue here, I'll even look on my wholesale site now. I'm on my laptop doing stuff, and I thought I'd, actually interact with my fans instead of being like a dickhead and staying silent. Because before, I could get red tails stupid cheap. I can get them for $30. But right now, they're charging me like $60 per Central American boa is what they're labeling them as. Now, the issue at hand is they have a limit of 6 per order, which, first off, I don't understand why. Is my hairline sponsored by Nike? No, what's crazy, I've always had this since, like, middle school, and I love this look, though. See, everybody else is always like, receding. Yes, I fucking love it. It gives, like, when I'm dressed well, it gives me that nice, like, ooh, that guy has been through a failed marriage. Oh, since you are such a fan of ball pythons, I'm going to read you some of these prices for wholesale ball pythons. Now, some of them I get, because some of them, they're not really even wholesaling. They kind of just have them on here. But I personally, see, the funny thing is, I don't care shit about rats. I just vibe with your content and love it. Well, thank you. I like your content, too. I keep meaning to watch the things you put about hotel or motel work, but I can't fucking, like I'll like it to watch it later, and then I forget to go back. Now, what else? I've seen Amazon trees, sand boas, and hognoses, and some other stuff go up. Yeah, they are going up a bit, because, see, here's the main fucking issue right now with animal wholesale is now we're starting to get some of our cheaper prices, because it is kind of like it is and isn't unfortunate in the fact that not as many wild caught specimens can be brought in right now because ports are still fucked up from all the COVID situation. Because before, goddamn, you struggled to find bearded dragon hatchlings. You almost had to fucking pray to ancient Daedric gods to try to get one. But like, because critter, okay, so like hatchling ball pythons, which they don't have any, like normals, no reset, no hets, nothing, just I'm in the U.S. and my wholesalers still even after everybody's starting to get them in the States and everything, still has a limit of 6 bearded dragon hatchlings per order. That's the least you can normal. Yeah, you would think that. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how much I pay for goddamn bearded dragon hatchlings. Normal. I'll go back to the ball python thing real quick. I just gotta point this out. Wholesale, if I order 1 to 5 normal bearded dragon hatchlings, cost me $40 goddamn dollars. I don't think for normal hatchling should be that much. Now back to the thank you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But no, back to the ball python thing, because you'll find this shit crazy. Okay, let's see if they do have normals. If they don't, I know I bought one before. Ha, yeah. Now they have them specified in 2 different categories for their normals. They have feeding special, which means the babies they're feeding, and just their normals. 1 to 5 normal, no hets, nothing, normal ball python hatchlings are $55 goddamn dollars. 6 or more, I can go get $50. I get $5 off each one if I buy 6 or more normal fucking hatchlings, which I don't fucking get. Like, you go to any expo and you almost can get normal hatchling for free. Because you gotta look at the marketability of the fact that a normal female, I can always do something with a normal female in a breeding collection. Yeah, even you get it. Yeah, exactly. I could get, actually, because I'm at a laptop and I'm really amped up about this. Moremarket.com. Let's go get off that section. I'm not buying those. Ball pythons. I haven't been on Morph Market in a while. That's really nice. Normal. Why didn't I just type it in instead of being a dumbass? Oh, damn it to hell. Let me just type it in. But yeah, the price is fucking ridiculous for wholesale. Because Jesus fuck. Now, I get if it was like a het. If I was getting hets, then all damn day. Let's go least expensive in sorting. Okay, that's an adult female. That's a fair price. Why are all of these 50? What the fuck? Why are all of these 50? That one's 70. Well, that one's a het. So that... Why the fuck are all these normals 50? What the fuck's happened? All these are hatchlings. Okay, so apparently there's an issue. Yeah, we are talking about animals. I've seen some comments have happened. I went on my rant. Yeah, we're talking about animals at the moment. Talking about reptiles, ball pythons. The generic like brown rock you see at a pet store. Well, see, here's the thing about Morph Market that I do love is it helps you price your things out according to. Yeah, like now that I don't know what's. I think it's just the fact that no one's getting wild caught shit. See, if I could find the goddamn connections to, Africa, I'd wholesale babies in non-fucking stop. I'd get crates of the sons of bitches, raise them up, feed them. Because unfortunately that is like, yes, Morph Market helps so goddamn much with pricing. Because you'll go into a fucking, oh, hey, Fancy, what's going on? I'm currently in a heated debate about snakes. What movie should I watch right now? I'm getting distracted. A bunch of topics at one time. I'll get back to you on the movie thing. Fly Away Home. Watch that. It's an old-ass movie about geese. Reach out on Instagram. I have connections for U.S. imports. I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, and, yes, snakes on a plane. Thank you. Also, speaking of that, you would be surprised how many snakes wholesale are shipped on planes. Like, there are actual motherfucking snakes on motherfucking planes. I stole that line from Sean Bradley. My sister just lost her 2-month python. Aw, damn. See, I always hate losing snakes, because you never get you never find them in like a peaceful position. Like, anytime you find a dead snake, they always end up in some fucky position. Rather they died from something terrible. Wait, oh, okay, my bad. Just saw they had shipped horses on planes. Yeah, it is crazy the amount of shit that is shipped on planes. Here's a little rant about shipping animals, right? My wholesaler, when they have them, offer hedgehogs. And the issue, oh dude, she's in Australia. That's going to take like a fucking arm and a leg to try to get anything to her. God damn, some of those rulings. But no, or rules. Fuck, import laws. Sorry, I'm getting scatterbrained. They sell their hedgehog babies, weaned off at a pretty fair price. Bare minimum for me to ship a live mammal, just one, to me through Delta. You have to pay, I think it's $50 for a health certificate to prove it's not sick. Then it's $250 goddamn dollars to have this thing flown to the nearest airport to me, which I believe is an hour away. Then I would have to pay the shipping that the wholesaler's charging me. So these guys, who cost me, $55, $60 per hedgehog, would then be $250 each animal plus $50. So unless I'm selling hedgehogs at $1,000 a piece, I can't make any money. So my plan when I was going to order those was to drive down to Florida, and it came a whole ordeal. Then COVID happened, so I couldn't travel anywhere except for my essential job. But so shipping mammals is a bitch. Okay, hang on. I've seen some typing. He had respiratory damage and damaged his heart. We fixed the infection. He had to be put... And has super strict laws. Oh, my day job? I'm a meat cutter at a grocery store. In fact, I'm actually about to become the meat manager there, because the guy that was the meat manager left. So I moved up to there. So that's why I've been super busy, because there were, there's normally 2 people in the meat shop, and it's just been me past couple months. So I've been busy. I used to just work as a stalker, and then I started doing, I decided to set up this business and start doing that. And then I moved up to meat department, just being like the assistant meat cutter. Now I'm being trained for management, so I'll get a pay grade, which I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, my day job is cutting meat. It kind of is a cool job in some aspects, but in other aspects, it's god-awful. Like, here's an example. Everything that you order that's fresh meat is fucking heavy. You have to constantly move merchandise, try to make sure it doesn't go bad. Because, you can't just put it out there and be like, that hamburger will be fine in 8 days. You normally get like 5-6 days on hamburger. Yeah, if you get lucky. And then you'll have some people, and what really makes the job suck is the persnickety customers. I constantly complain about shaving hams, because shaving hams is the worst goddamn experience I've ever had to deal with. I think I would rather deal with actually shaving my face at work with the ham slicer than shaving a ham. And it's always these big corn-fed motherfuckers that will be like, I need my ham shaved. Now, little old dudes will be cool, like, I want sandwich slice. Thick-ass slices of ham. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Done. Here you go. Have a nice day. Meanwhile, these big guys have this giant pile of shaved ham that they're going to be back in 3 days to get more ham. So I don't know why the fuck they want shaved so thin. Because they're going to end up making a big-ass sandwich anyways. And they're making a sandwich that's not as efficient as it could be if they used sandwich slice. But I'm not, I'm not going to tell them how to live their lives. Also, where did I leave off at? I left off talking about ball python prices for wholesale. Yes. So that's the first price. Second one, and you're going to find this shit crazy. Now, how the fuck do you pronounce your channel's name? Is it Okay, it's Cascade. Cassidy? Cassadi? Look, I'm bad with reading shit. I really am. See, and I'll have some customers that when I was first starting off, I didn't know what shaved meant, so I just made a small ham slice. And they're like, okay. CAS. So, let me look that up and hear pronunciation of that. Because as being a humble mountain folk, I'm kind of bad with saying words when I just see them. Like, I'm real bad for that shit. Like, Cassidy. Cassidy. Or Cassidy? Cassidy? Is that correct? Is Cassidy correct? I'll accept if I'm doing it right. Because I'm typing it in now, trying to get the damn name right. I don't want to misuse your name. Cass-made. Okay, I did read that wrong. Cass-made. Cad? Autocorrect messed me up. Bob Saget. Okay, hang on. I feel creepy when I type at you guys. Cascade. Is it that? No, not a Mexican bar and grill. God damn it. Yeah, apparently my typing is hick too, it seems. Aid. Okay, okay, so... Okay, why am I spelling Caucasian? So it'd be Cascade. Like... Or Cade? So it'd be Cascade. So it's Cascade Critters. Is that how I pronounce that? Or is it still somehow fucking wrong? Because... I'm real bad for that shit. Like, and I play Crusader... Okay, yeah, okay. Cascade. Okay. Whew, I don't know why I'm sweating. Oh, because the AC's off. Okay, so... Yes, we took way too fucking long. Because, as a side note, I'm sure some of you have seen the thing I post. I play a game called Crusader Kings 2. And I'm sure I butchered the dog shit out of these historical names of countries I've never been to. In fact, I can point to one that I know I butchered. Well, I'm not going to type out. I need to get back on topic. Okay, so, Cascade. The next cheapest option in ball pythons is a normal, like just spider. Nothing fancy, just spider. Thank you for following me, good sir. Is it true Americans have the AC on? Yeah, honest. Well... Except for winter. Well, no, even then. Yeah, you could say that stereotype's pretty true. Like a cascading water... God damn, I'm fucking stupid. Okay. Don't know why the fuck I couldn't... Okay, sorry. I get angry at my own idiotic, ramblings. But no, I would say that that's honestly kind of true, because... See, I'm like a lizard person, and I like being warm. Like, I kind of like the room to stay between 85, 90. Like, 70, 75 is okay. Yeah, no, you're good. Be kind to yourself, you're good. Yeah, see, the you know now, people always say you can literally, the more you know song. Yeah, people say you can hear the light bulb burst on in my head when I get something, and it's kind of true. But no, the AC kind of stays on. I don't even have AC except in the rat shed. Well, I've been heating, but no proper cooling. Yeah, the issue is in some parts of the U.S., it's always cool, like Maine, up north. I think North Dakota is pretty cool. Then you have some parts of the country where, okay, West Virginia is a northern state, but it's just close enough to fucking, like, south that it stays hot. But West Virginia's weather fucking sucks on the fact that it'll start off like, okay, you basically have, if I could boil down West Virginia's weather, you have 5 months where it snows or is like cold, and then 5 months where it rains, and then 2 months where it's 90 fucking degrees after the rain, so it's like muggy and terrible. Where I am, we have all 4 seasons in one day. You just melt when it's hot. Yeah, it feels like that right now, because right now the issue in my current situation is it will be hot when the sun's out. It'll be about 80, 90, sometimes 75. But then it'll rain, and then immediately get hot again. So it's just so goddamn humid. So then I go down to the rat basement, where the basement leaks, so then there's water down there that I keep having to sweep out. And it's staying so fucking humid. So when I get down there, I open the door, I turn on the fan to get air circulating. Now, the rats don't seem to care. Like, I can tell they're a little hot. But I just give them, water. Give them some, cool bottles of, like, frozen bottles to chill on. They're fine. Only things that seem to hate the heat right now is the possums, which I get. The hamsters, who act like everything's fucking killing them if it's not perfect. The alligator's fine. Alligator's loving the heat. He's down there just bit-bopping away. So, I have no issues with that. But, it's just the fact that every time it starts to dry up a little bit down there, and I'm like, I can fucking breathe. Because it is a basement, so it's so musty, and then when you add the water, and it just looks terrible. And I'm moving the basement around, so, like, I'm sitting there, and it looks like a fucking shithole. Yeah, because I've noticed I have, like... The only reason I don't like the humidity is because it's making my bedding turn quicker. So, I have, in the mice right now, where I moved them to the stock tank, mice, as you know, already seem to some fucking how, be way dirtier than rats. I'm sure you'll agree with me, Fancy, to the point that if I had to choose to only keep one, I'd keep rats. Because there's something about mouse urine that's just god-awful. If I put that many rats in that tub, which I couldn't physically fit, but let's say I did, I feel I'd have to clean it less than I do with the mice. Because mice, just something about mouse urine's fucking god-awful. It feels like it can take paint off walls, burns your lungs. But, yes. And I don't get it. Yes, it's a terrible odor. Like, when I have to clean out bedding, I can do the rats just fine. Unless I have a lot of them in one spot, or something's happened that I had to skip a cleaning, like when I had the car problems and I had to skip a cleaning week. So then the rats were bad. But the mice, it feels like consistently, you'll put your fresh bedding in, you'll get 2 good days out of it, and then if you're not cleaning, it's gonna start smelling. And it's just fucking terrible. And they like to waste all their goddamn food. They love to somehow fling water. Just fling it. And then they'll pick out their spots where they pee. But in the stock tank, they pick 2 different sides. That is, for some reason, right next to their water. And then they just spread that out. And it's annoying. It's fun to kind of rant about some rats. And mouse problems. Because right now, my issue is, I've got the lids for 3 totes. And I gotta make 2 more. I cut the wire last night. I'm going to get the wood put on there probably tomorrow, and then I'll have 5 nice totes. You may need to adopt a smaller food and water system. I'm gonna do that with the rats. I'm gonna start adding clippable hang-on feeders for the rats, because fun fact, I don't use normal I don't use the block rat food, because around here it's hello Mike Wazowski again. It's way too expensive for the quantity I need. So I've adjusted to using, like, cat and dog food. And I hadn't noticed any issues. Only thing I noticed with the rats, I'm glad to see the Ball twins are back. The only thing I noticed with the rats when I moved the dog food is that I had smaller litters, and I wasn't having litters that often. But I didn't have any weight loss issues, and I didn't have any issues with cannibalism, really. As you know, sometimes if a rat passes, they might take a nibble. But the issue I noticed is then I went back to cat food, because the mice wouldn't breed at all. The mice were like, fuck you, you giving us dog food, we're not going to breed. Go to hell and die. So I was like, okay, mice, So I move them to the cat food, and I give the hedgehog the cat food anyway. So I was like, I'm going to give all the rats cat food night for like about a week. Let them, because I knew I had a bunch of females that had just had babies, bulk them up. And then out of fucking nowhere, I guess all the mice had decided, or the rats had decided to be like, well, now we have cat food again. Let's go at it. So they just fucking, what the fuck was that? I'll donate money if you cut your beard right now. I do need to trim it for work. Now, the issue at hand is, see, I'm okay with... The way I like to do my facial hair is... I found too much cat food makes the boy rats smell more. That actually does add up. Because it does make sense in the fact that... I think it's just the overproduct... I think it's just too much protein, so it's kind of like, send it, bruh. I have noticed an odor from my males a little more when I use cat food, but I've also noticed that my males seem to be less aggressive. My name is Cool, right? Your name is Cream Cheese. Okay, that's a name. Yeah, I think I notice my males are a little less aggressive with each other when I'm on cat food. But at the same time, I've noticed because they have more protein, they seem to want to be a little more aggressive to my females. So it's a hit or miss thing where I have to decide when they're on cat food and when they're not. And currently, I think my system's going to be is when I move my males to their bachelor totes, they're going to be on dog food. Then a couple days before I move them in with my ladies, I'm going to move them to cat food because they're going to need that protein because they're going to be busy doing what male rats do when they breed. So, I have the issue on hand where cat food is kind of more expensive than dog food. I was able to get a large quantity of dog food for a much cheaper price because right now, a 40-pound bag of cat food with the protein content that I'm wanting that's not too high, that doesn't try to fuck their kidneys up, is like 16 something a bag. Whereas before, I was paying like 10... maybe $11 for a 40 pound of dog food. So the price went up a fair bit for me feeding them. But at the same time, I'm able to produce more, and I'm trying to offset that balance. So it's like a double-edged sword of the fact that if I feed them the cheaper option where they're still healthy, I don't make as many. But when I'm making as many, I'm spending more. So I need to try to generate more sales. And it's just... I found that the cheaper cat and dog food works well for... See, yeah, and that's why I'm using the brand I'm using from Rural King now, is because it's like their brand. It's like their general value brand. The extra gains are... Yeah, because I've noticed, like, I tried a brand of dog food that was meant for hunting dogs, because I live in an area where I have a lot of hunting dogs, and this is almost straight protein. And I noticed that when I used that... I had a lot of my older rats start popping off, and I couldn't tell why. And I think it's just making their kidneys shut down. I could mix the two foods, but then I have the issue of, I find that if I tried to add filler, if I let's say I have cat food, and I have another food, and I mix that and give it to rats, they'll only pick out the cat food, and they'll just end up wasting their filler. So I'd love to do that. Worst case scenario, I could always just intermittently add small bits of cat food, but even then, like I said, they just pick out the cat food, and then I'm back to square one of them not wanting to fucking eat the dog food, and then they end up wasting it, and then the mice only seem to want to ever breed when they're on cat food, which I had a customer of mine recently tell me, because he bought a bunch of his mice from a competitor who, are now out of business. The lady told him, you can't feed mice. This is a full statement this woman made. She said, you cannot feed mice cat food because it makes them mean and they can't be handled. I don't know where she got this knowledge. I don't know if she pulled it out of her ass, if she had like a terrible experience with a mouse. Like that, I heard that and it made me fucking stop. I was in the middle of doing my whole spiel when they were down there, and it stopped me dead in my tracks. Because that has to be like... I had, like, it's just insane. What the hell's that noise? Why do I hear something sniffing? Oh well. Hopefully I'm not about to be fucking murdered in my house. Because normally I live with my grandmother at the moment. Yeah, it has to be. Because it's like the wives' tale of if you feed your dog red meat, it makes them mean. Like, and I try to fight those like, if nothing else at the end of the day, if I can end some animal wives' tale, I'm fine with it. Now, there are some that I'm okay with. It's like saying feeding makes rat meat makes them like saying feeding makes rat meat. Yeah, see, and that wouldn't be true, because where I work at a meat shop, if you ever get a chance to do this, try this. I don't know if you could, well, no, you can do this in Australia. Buy you, if you can, a whole short loin. That's where a T-bone comes from. It has, basically, you have your T-bone. Let's make you T. The top portion here is what people make New York strips out of. The bottom tender section makes a filet mignon. And then you have the T-bone itself. That would be your whole thing. Now you have your first section where it's bigger in the steak, and that's where you get your porterhouse steaks from. If you could have someone cut you a whole short loin into T-bones, and then you can get them cheaper normally, and then you cut out all the meat parts, or leave a little bit of meat, and give that to the rats, my guys fucking love that. Because I'll give them the bones to chew on. Because I struggle to find wood that would be considered safe. And I don't want to go out and, like, bake wood once I find it locally. So I give them that to chew on. And they fucking love it. They'll eat the little bits of meat off of it first. They love the dog shit out of these bones to chew on. And it gives them something to do. Because they're like, ooh, and they get to, like, scavenge. And they'll pick these sons of bitches clean. Like, it is hands down, if I had to pick a rat toy to try to market, it would be somehow a T-bone with a little bit of meat on it. Like, if I could, well, I could probably sell that, but it'd be expensive in legality. So, if you ever get a chance to do that, I know I saw a woman on TikTok, and she did something similar. She made a little grave, rat's bones. She did this little thing. She called it a grave digging thing, where she cooked chicken and she ate it, and what was left over, she put it in a little box and buried it in their bedding, so they dug it up and ate it. And that's a fun little toy there. I liked that. That I could get down with. Sorry, I was getting a little dry in the throat there, and I could feel it like creeping up. What did I hear, like, hacking? Was there a deer in the yard that saw me, and it was hacking at me? I hope that was what it was, and it wasn't like a demon. Yeah, because, see, right now I have, like, the wood that I use on my totes, I haven't had any issue with, so they'll chew on that a little bit, but I'll have a group of them occasionally. It's normally a female, I've noticed, either after her, maybe she's had a couple litters really close together, and she'll get really fucking anxious, and I can just tell in her body language that she's just fucking amped as shit and spooked, and they'll start just chewing on the wood, and then they'll chew all the way through the board, and then they start just looking to chew out, and that's when I have to either try to correct this behavior before they chew out, or they end up chewing out and I have to euthanize, because once they start, you can't get them to fucking stop, and then they have to move to the tanks, and then I don't want to use the tanks, because, obvious TikTok people scream at me for using tanks, which, yes, tanks aren't great, but you know this, fancy, but they're not as bad as some people claim they are. But I find that because then I have the issue, like, right now there's a group of my rats in a tote, and the issue at hand is there's an old female. Her breeding days are done. She's basically just hanging around until she dies. I want to say she's 4, because I think I got her when she was 2. Real old. She has that classic old rat look, where they kind of take their time doing things. And then there's a young female, and there's 3 young males. I'm having a complex at the moment. I need to put some young rats for temperament. Yeah, because I have a group of rats, and they're in a tank. They're in a 55. And half of them were just in there for grow outs, and the other half were chew outs, and so they all went in there to be euthanized. And I haven't made time to euthanize the other half. But the other group is showing me behavior that I don't like. Now, there's a male who I'm going to keep because he kind of keeps a level head. He's one of those that we talked about might be mink. And he's okay. He's a little skittish for a male. Normally my males are pretty chill. And then I have a group of hairlesses in there. So it was like 3 small groups that got morphed into this 55. And the hairlesses, they won't breed. I've tried. The litter that they did have died because she wasn't producing milk. So they're just for pet market. Unfortunately, the issue at hand now is because the hairlesses seem, if I keep the hairlesses with normal rats, they love just to show scratches. And they're not deep scratches. They're just simple, rat scratches that I'm sure you've seen like when you've held a rat. Like, it looks like you're fucking wounded, but you can tell it's not. I feel it's either breed out bad temperament on them. I was like, oh god, yes. Oh, god, yes. It's so much easier to make, like, 2 generations. Males are your best friends, just dabbing each other up. Females, I feel like it takes forever, and I don't know if it's because maybe, I know personally, where I need to make a lot because of feeders. See, and I almost want to try to get it out of my line, but at the same time, I love it. Like, I prefer the patchworks to the hairless, which I think technically my hairlesses are hairless rex, which are like hairless patchworks. But, yeah, because right now I have this one female patchwork. She's a pretty rat, but the way her hairline has like finalized out, it looks like, and I quote the person I showed the photo to, that rat looks like it's been beat to death 6 ways to Sunday. And she's healthy. She's had a bunch of litters in her life. She's currently on a break because I took the male out from her. So her and her sister and the other female are just chilling out, eating, gaining weight. But because she's missing patches all over, and the issue with the hairless is that in the pet market, you can sell the hairlesses. People love a hairless rat. Love and hate. Like hairless dogs. And I want to produce them to sell to the pet market, but I can't seem to keep them from being injured because when they're little and they're play fighting, they like to fuck each other up sometimes. Or, in most chances, when I move them from being with their family to the bigger grow out section, they'll pick a fight with somebody for some fucking reason. And only my male hairlesses will do this. My male hairlesses love to fight non-hairless males. And then they like to injure themselves, and I have to be like, god damn it. And then either keep them around because maybe they have another quality I want to try to breed, or I'm like, look, they're injured and they're not going to breed, and I'll keep them for personal feeding for the reptiles I have on hand, or the fiance has on hand. So I feel like if anything, I might just start keeping maybe 1 to 2 hairless males and using them to make my hairlesses and not really have a lot. Because right now on hand I have TT, who he's starting to get old on me, and it's making me sad. I know I'm going to find him dead here soon because he's got that old rat physique now, and it's a little heartbreaking. Because I know no, he's not that old. He's only 2. Is he 3? No, he's 2. He's 2. But he's hairless, so not the perfect genes. He was a part of the generation that, were being born with inverted eyelids and shit. So I've got currently 2 of his sons in a tote with him because they just weaned out, and I haven't pulled them yet. One of his daughters, who is just going to be a patchwork, I can tell. She's not going to be hairless. Oh, no, that's fine. You can head out. You're all good. Understand, Fancy. Hello, Alexis. I'm glad I could do the live stream again. If you ever want to check out like the recording, I'm posting them on YouTube now, so you can just hit the little YouTube thing on TikTok and it'll take you there and you'll see my fucking face do shit. But good luck on your journey, friend. Be safe and merry, as they say. And that's I guess that's where I end that sentence. I don't know why I'm so rambling. I'm bad for rambling. That is what I do. I do ramble. That's why some people like me and some don't. Why did I start this live stream? I forget why I started it. Okay, and at the moment it seems the live stream is empty. It is 1:28, and that's kind of depressing because I gotta get up in the morning for work at 6. Shit. Didn't mean to stay up this late. Fuck. Hello again. Cascade. How are you? Now that, oh no, you just got read you, like, we're busy, you know, I understand completely. Fancy just left. Now, back to, I guess, what I started this whole thing off as. Now, we discussed that, you know, normals are like fucking 55 wholesale. Now, spiders, just one jean spiders, cost me 75 wholesale. What kind of eggs you got cooking right now? Give me a scoop. You got anything really, like, you got any cool 3 jeans going on? Like, really, like, let me know what you got cooking. I'm interested. I wish I had some eggs cooking. It'd make me really happy. But right now, the only thing I have breeding is rats, obviously. Like, what? Like, I've seen some of your stuff. What is your project? Like, what is the project that you really like? Shatter bamboo, NG pin. Ooh. Damn it, I'm so jealous. I love bamboo. I had this cool idea before I got the business license, when I was just planning my snake breeding setup, because I want to set up my ball pythons to be a very small group with a lot of genes. But my idea was to make, because I was going to buy NGHI, I want to make more black snakes. Oh, now you're making me dream of all the snakes I want to breed. But my idea for my beginner setup, I was going to get a trio. I was going to get a visual scaleless male, bamboo female, and I was going to go for a het scaleless female. And so that way I could keep making scalelesses, but I wanted to make a scaleless bamboo. And I just felt something about the scaleless bamboo I felt would be really fucking pretty. And I don't think I'm wrong on that. I mean, like, you know, you obviously know bamboo. That, like, kind of light, not gray, but it wants to be green so bad, but it's not. And I feel like if you lighten that out with the scaleless, it'd be really pretty. And of course, scalelesses are just fucking cool because you're like, ooh, you know. And I do want to end up getting me a scaleless male. I really wish I could have been on the project early on, but I didn't have that kind of money. And then all the people started spitting shit about them having some health issues, so I might end up going back and getting at least a scaleless male. But I want a visual, and I at least then want a het in my project, so that way I can make scalelesses, so that way if I don't end up making, in 4 years what I'm trying to make, I still have scalelesses to sell. So that is what I'm hoping to do with my breeder group. But right now, because I'm trying to focus on the pet market, my breeder group of ball pythons I'm thinking of setting up will be I'll get at least one big normal female, and I'm thinking about getting me a nice 2-gene male for making pet stuff. And what I've looked at would be, I want to say it's the one let me actually look at Morph Market. Do I still have him in my wish list? Because I'm really curious. Because he was, I could go for the Scales Blue-Eyed Lucy. But, you know, you look at the statistics on that. Well, yeah, I can still make a lot of cool things in the process. Yeah. It's not a bad thought. How do you sell pet? Craigslist. Right now, it's a bit of just word of mouth, just because of the local area. Normally what I end up doing is, because as you know, selling animals on Facebook to them is like selling black tar heroin. So I end up going on the business page. I could do that. Actually, let's see if that's available on here right now. You got me. Bam. Because right now I'm on more bamboo. God damn it. Bamboo. Oh, I know I'm gonna pay a lot for it. Not a super. I just need the regular. No, God. I'll look at that later. Yeah, I know I'll pay out. Like, initially I wanted to buy, when I was going to set up my first setup for pet operation was going to be, I had a blue-eyed Lucy male I was looking at. He was, it's been a while now, but I remember he was a blue-eyed Lucy male. So I'm going to buy him. He's going to cost me like $1,000 and some change. Then I was going to buy, an albino female, normal female, and then I was going to go for one of the Lucy making females. And I was going to use that group there, for breeding my first group of ball pythons. And then got the business license, and I have a male blue-eyed Lucy and 3 blue-eyed. Damn! Got a fuck ton of blue eyes, huh? Damn. Cascade make me feel like a fucking amateur. Yeah, because right now all I have on hand for sale is a lesser Actually, I don't know if he is a female. A lesser and a normal. And the only reason I have those is because I gave, someone was like, hey, I have some snakes. I'm looking to get out of them. I know you'll do something good with them. So they just gave them to me. So I'll take a normal free. Because if it ends up being a male, I could go real cheap on a big normal male, but then you have to find someone who's just looking for a pet, because anything above, honestly, I mean, like, you being a snake breeder, you wouldn't want a male. Nah, man, it's all about what you want to do. I pay like a month for feeders, so like, yeah, see, and I'm trying to hopefully get the business to a point where it's paying just enough for itself that I can, like, hire someone to kind of care for other parts of the business I want to set up. Like, I kind of want to do it all. And that's my problem. Is because I do have not a vast amount of knowledge, but I have just enough knowledge in all of it that I want to do it all. But then I have situations like, okay, I did place a wholesale order today, but it's not for anything fancy. Like, literally, my wholesale order for this time around, it cost me a pretty penny. But it was, where the fuck is it? My account. Where's my order? Hello, Gator bitch. Yeah, I do want to definitely set, like I said, I want to set up at least the group that I'm trying to set up for breeding my own business stuff to be, like, no normals will be made. So at least double gene recessive stuff. Like, ideally I'd like to have, at least a little bit of albino in there, because there's something about an albino that people love, and I do too. I'll love a vanilla albino. But, like, right now, the wholesale animal order I have coming in this week is only, like, a Monthly corn hatchling and 22 red ear slider babies. That's all I have coming in. I was going to throw an Arizona blonde in there, but I don't think I'd be able to sell it. I'm talking about Gator. Get supers that are... Yeah, see, I definitely want my male. Right now we're talking about ball pythons, Gator. Right now I want to sell... definitely I want my male to be a super of something, and then have recessive females or visual females, so that way I can at least create, if I do create anything, I'm creating, non-visual hets that might look normal. But then I have to, as course, the issue that we all face when we breed animals is selling or getting these animals not on our, let's say, payroll. Oh, hey, Silk, what's going on? Or make double hit up. See, Clown's cool. I do think Clown is cool, but I kind of also feel that Clown's kind of overhyped. Because, the issue I have with Clown is it's really pretty, but it's still so damn high. Also, Gator, I run like a kind of mobile pet store, so we're kind of talking about, let's say, all animals. We'll just go with all animals. Because, I have an accent from West Virginia. So, southern, well, not southern. Pie will always be better than Clown. Yeah, because there's something, like us as snake nerds, we look at clowns like, ooh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. But the normal person who's walking at an expo, who's never seen what ball python can do, will always look at that pod and be like, oh my god, that snake's fucking cool. Meanwhile, me and you'll be over here like, ooh, I bet that's got that. Oh, what the fuck's that got? And we can get into nerd shit, but bare bone entrance into the hobby, that pods are the first thing that when people see them, they're like, holy fucking shit, that's dope, sick fucking nasty dog. That always gets their fucking jimmies going. What kind of, okay, so you said you had a ball python that died quick. I sold 2 bales today for, who's just getting a god damn. Yeah. God, because right now I've got a guy, and if I know, if I could ever get hatchling, like from a wholesaler, which they used to have them, but they were kind of pricey for obvious reasons. If I could ever get a blue-eyed Lucy into my possession to sell him, he would put his well-being of his family out the fucking window to get this snake. They do pay really well. It was nice meeting you too, Gator. And I really do want to get into them. It's just the issue right now is every time I'm like, yeah, I want to get these, I want to do this, I gotta get money, and I gotta end up using that money for other shit. Because like I said, my wholesale order, see you, Gator. I see Rabbit's having some issues, so I'm sorry, Rabbit. But like right now, my only wholesale order is like a monthly corn snake hatchling and 22 radiator slider hatchlings. And the only reason I'm ordering the radiator slider hatchlings is because 1, I didn't pay that much for them, and 2, I can keep radiator sliders alive easy. Start with heads and grow them to make some money and use that money. See, back to the ball python thing, you just reminded me, I got off topic, is my issue with this wholesaler and ball pythons is almost, I think I'm being charged retail for most of these, because they have some kind of cool gene shit for a wholesaler. Because like I said, normals are 50 fucking 5, which is ridiculous. Spiders are fucking 75. Fucking, a normal inchy is 75 wholesale. A goddamn pastel is 75 wholesale. Then the Mackenzie is 150 wholesale. Pinstripe is 85. Why is that behind him? Anyways, then the Garnet's 95. Pastel Spot Nose is 150, which, it's okay. The Super Pastel Spot Nose is 175. An Orange Dream Calico is 175. Pastel Vanilla is 175. A Mojave Vanilla Ball is 175. Then we have the Ghost Super Pastel. Oh, wow, that's not that bad of a deal. 195. A Fire Mocha for 195. Banana Pastel for 195. Nuclear for 195. That 95 is going to keep going until, okay, here we go. Ivory for 225. A Scaleless, when did they get Scaleless Head wholesale? For 100, and that's actually kind of an okay price for him. Now he's just obviously, okay. Anyways, that kind of stripe. The Gravel, a fucking Gravel is 195. A Cinnamon Butter for 195. And these are all hatchlings, which, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Like, I get, like, I would pay these on Morph Market, but some of these prices here is, no, let's actually, yeah. I know exactly what I can do to prove I might be able to charge. Scaleless Head, Morph Market, where are you? go to Morph Market, scaleless head. Just the one head. Nothing fancy. No other jeans. Just a head scaleless. 100, 125, 175. That one's not just one. Okay, so I am being charged, if not over market price for a normal scaleless. I think, unless you're buying huge lots. Yeah, and what sucks is with the ball pythons, the only things that you get deals on is the normals. And that's the only thing I'll sell you in lots, because here, let's look at that scaleless head baby they have for sale. They got 2 in stock. And honestly, I know that they do, because this wholesale company, because I don't want to like mention their name and get in trouble and lose the account, they do sell on Morph Market. They do have a presence there. Nothing crazy, but they do have a presence. And they only put their high-end shit on there for obvious reasons. And it's not underground reptiles before you panic. Like, the only things I have right now that I can get actual wholesale, it feels. Okay, because here's some bullshit. You'll find this funny. They have some shit on here that is considered wholesale, but obviously is not. Now, yeah, they're probably a little rare. Okay, they have green tree monitor adults. Blackwater reptile. It's not them. I did when I started off, though, before I found this wholesaler. Black backwater. Fun fact, if you ever look up online, wholesale reptiles, they have a website called, I think it's called buywholesaleweptiles.com. It is a sister site to Backwater. And it's basically you're doing business with Backwater. Like, you even, I think, get a Backwater paper when you get your order. And that is how I got my first wholesale order, because I didn't know it was from them. Now, I have my pros and cons with them. Some things you can get good deals on. Some things you don't. Some things you need to take a gamble on. Like, if I was, like, I would buy a Knowles from Backwater. I would buy things that I know 100% are probably wild caught, and that I know the amount that I'm buying, I'm going to take a risk on. But back to my bullshit rant here. A green tree monitor adult, 170. Oh, sorry, my bad. Wholesale is always yes. And I always try to explain that to people, because some people want to pay me in advance for an order, and I have to explain that, look, I don't make that much if I do a small order, so I need to be able to sell it. And my policy is, like, whenever the Montley, corn snake, and the red ear sliders come in, they'll sit with me until they eat and have a bowel movement. Once I see the animals do both of those things, then I will sell them. And that's because I just don't want to have a wholesale go straight to them and something dies on them. Because, like I talk about and harp about nonstop, is too many new people get in the hobby and fucking they get an animal and it wasn't in good health and it dies, and they say reptiles are hard. Now, they're not just, cakewalks. Some species are very difficult. But, I basically got the corn snake sold. Someone told me, look, if you get it, let me know. I want one. I got the cash. I'm like, okay. And now I'm ordering it because there's always someone who wants a corn snake. But the red ear sliders, there's always someone who wants a turtle. And now I'm going to also buy from my supply wholesaler, turtle supplies and shit, so I can, upsell. But, a green tree monitor adult is $750 wholesale. I can see that. This next thing, and I know they're not probably that large in the hobby, is a thing called a yellow tree monitor. Juvenile to adults. This is a female. She would cost me wholesale $2,000 fucking dollars. Yellow tree monitor, juvenile to adult, a pair of them. So that means they added a male. Would cost me $3,800 wholesale. Now, granted, I'm a little iffy on monitors in the hobby as it is, because unfortunately, people get monitors shouldn't have monitors. A lot of people get monitors shouldn't have monitors, because I can get, let's see if they have them available. I'm not ordering them, but let's see. They might have sold out. Okay, they did sell out. Okay, here's a perfect example. Java water monitor babies, $85. That's pretty cheap. But I have seen Savannah monitors on this fucking site as cheap as fucking $15 for groups of them. If I buy like a bunch of them, I can get them 15 a piece. Yeah, and that's what I hate is because oftentimes, you go to an expo, you see a table of Savannah monitors. I guarantee you they were bought wholesale, they were bought recently, and they were brought to the expo to sell. Because too many people will impulse buy them because they're like, oh, big monitor, look how cheap it is, and you can make your money because they don't ever buy just fucking 20. No, when they want that wholesale, they'll buy fucking 100. And now if you do the math that, let's say, I think, if I remember correctly, the best deal I could get would be $10 a Savannah monitor hatchling. I'm going to put my calculator and do a little bit of math. Let's say you get them for 10 a piece and you order 100. That's like, I want to say $100. Like I said, I'm real bad with math in my head. That's $1,000. That's $1,000 you spent. Now, let's say you sold those things. Yeah, because let's say you sold them cheapest at the expo. Let's say you just added $5. Let's say you sold them for 15. That's gonna make you fucking. Yeah, it's gonna make you $15,000. That can't be right. 15 times. Oh, I put 1,000. That's okay. So 1,500. If you went cheap as shit and you just made $5, that's a $500 extra cash. Now, what a lot of these sneaky pricks will do, is you order a fuck ton of Savannah monitors. Get them to come in like a couple of days before the expo. That way, if anybody was going to die early on, they've already died. Go to the expo. You have all the shit, your pricey shit, but you also have your cheap shit. Sell them. Give people the spiel of it'll only get as big as its enclosure. And little Tommy gets himself a big lizard. See, and that's the thing. Most people sell those sons of bitches for $50. Now, although I've seen them real cheap at expos. I've seen people go cheap, and then as the expo gets ready to end, I had a guy one time tell me, because I was looking around, he looked at me, he was like, you like those monitors? And I was like, I mean, they're cool. I wasn't going to buy any. He was like, I'll cut you a deal. I've got 30 left. You give me $30, I'll give you those 30 monitors. Because he'd seen I was buying a lot of stuff. And I was like, whew, that's a good deal, man. That's a real good deal, but I don't need that many Savannah monitors. And he was like, thought I'd try. That fucking guy tried to sell me 30 Savannah monitors for $1 a piece. A small part of me wonders what would have happened in my life if I'd bought that many Savannah monitors. Now, granted, it would have been terrible. It'd probably be a god-awful thing. I'd probably still be holding on to Savannah monitors. And obviously, I don't have the facilities to take care of one, let alone that many. My policy, if someone wants a monitor at all, because I can get them, and if a customer wants one bad enough, they can order one. Monitors and alligators and crocodilians are the only animals I will require cash up front to order. And I sell them out the ass for, I had a guy, he was like, I want a Savannah monitor. I was like, I can get them. You're going to pay over retail. And he was like, I was like, yeah, I don't want stuck with one. Because I could get one for $25. I was going to order him one. My price was $200 because I don't want some bumfuck buying a big lizard who doesn't need to have one. I told him, I was like, look, you can find them cheaper online. And if you want, go there. You can go find anybody who has one. And they'll sell you them way cheaper. I was like, I'm going to guarantee you this. It'll eat. It'll be alive. And it won't die on you unless you fuck up. Because I'll bring it in. And I tell him, I was like, look, I'm going to require at least half of that up front. So I'm going to leave $100 up front. And that's non-refundable. I don't want you running off after you made me order you a Savannah monitor. Now, I told him, I was like, look, if it dies, once I get it in, I'll refund you that. You can't help that the thing died in my care. But I don't want, some fucker asking me to order him a Savannah and he doesn't buy it, or a water, or an alligator, because I like my alligator. He's a lot of work, but I like my one alligator. I'm not trying to get any more. I am not. I enjoy my alligator as he is. But I was going to charge him $200 for that Savannah monitor because I overcharge for monitors. Because I don't want to hear a news story about some fucking meth tweaker buying a monitor and it getting loose in the city of wherever the fuck around me. So I will say I'm a prick about that. And I'm fully honest about that, is that I overcharge for monitors and alligators. And I don't think I'm in the wrong for that at all. And I can't, at the same time, I can't blame the guys who go to the expos, who know if they buy probably 100 Savannah monitors, they can probably sell most of those in a 3-day expo day. I can't blame them, because, bills need to be paid. You understand that, Cascade. Bills need paid. Like you said, $500. $500 can go to, paying, a feeder bill, getting better inventory, paying for the damn lights. I get that. So that's the double-edged sword. If anybody's watching this and they think, wow, if that twitchy dumb fuck can do this, I can do this. There are some moments in the pet hobby where if you're trying to deal with just the general public, oh, howdy, how are you? Right now I'm discussing, it's not really a sole topic, but I'm getting on a little rant about being in the animal business. Let's say you want to own a shop, and I'd love to get a physical storefront, and I'm working very hard at it. There are going to be moments where you have bills that need paid, employees that need paid, and you might see a woman come in, and she might want a turtle, might want a red-eared slider, and you have to worry that she may not be able to give that turtle the greatest life it deserves. Now, she can do the basics, such as, feeding it, watering it, all that shit. But you have to accept that I got that sale, and there's probably a sad high likelihood that turtle will die. But that money helps me make my business better, and to be able to maybe make content to teach her, don't get your son a red-eared slider if he's 2. 2-year-olds don't remember shit. Unless they have a traumatic event that happens to them, generally 2-year-olds don't remember a fucking thing. Unless you tell them. Now, if you have a kid who's 8 to 10, that's pet age. That's the age where a kid could say, I want a pet, if they don't have one. And then I will come and talk to you. Because at the same time that I feel that young children should be exposed to animals so that we don't make psychopaths, there are moments where I feel that the child said they want a pet, but children are dumb. Like, young children are dumb. You can't train someone if their own job to decide. Fair point. You're not wrong, because I've talked to a couple people, because I had a woman when I got my car, and she was talking about her son wanted a pet lizard, and I thought, oh, that's my business. Started talking like I am now. And she was like, do you have anything that's green? She's being really vague, and I was like, I mean, a nose are green? Because once she told me her kid was 3, I was like, I was like, I mean, a nose are green, and you can set them up in you can get a bunch of them, and get a massive tank, and that's a fun centerpiece for a living room. Get you a tall 40, 50, put 5, 6 of them in there. That's a fun enclosure to watch. Feed them and sit back on the couch. That's a fun enclosure to generally watch and build. But I mentioned that. She's like, well, he wants something he can hold. And I was like, 3-year-olds have fucking weird stubby hands. They can't really even hold a conversation. Yeah, that's what she said. I told her, someone told her, she's like, someone mentioned an iguana. And I was like, iguanas they're not bad pets, but they need a lot of work. And I told her what they need. She's like, that sounds terrible. I was like, yeah, that's why you don't want to impulse buy him. She's like, well, thank you for at least teaching me that. And I was like, you're welcome. Because I'm sure it would have been terrible if you just got that. She's like, yeah, because I had a guy trying to sell me one. I was like, that sounds about right. And I told her, I was like, the only thing that I could recommend to you is... And she said she's reconsidered it. She messaged me. She's not getting him a lizard now until he's older for obvious reasons. Thank God. Now the staple of the hobby that I will recommend to anyone trying to get someone who hasn't had reptiles a reptile is a leopard gecko. Leopard geckos are the unsung hero of the reptile hobby. You have to try to kill a leopard gecko. You can, but they can accept an amount of new owner abuse. Yeah, I had a guy, when I worked with my meat manager, his fiance sent him a photo, and her friend, okay, so the guy I worked with, his fiance had a friend who had a kid, and my meat manager had been talking to me about reptiles, and he was like, he's like, could you tell us what kind of gecko this is? He was like, sure. Sends him a fucking photo of this leopard gecko. And it was a goddamn water monitor hatchling. And at first I was like, wow, someone has oversold her on a goddamn leopard gecko. No. They got this for free. So apparently someone bought themselves a water monitor, and when they were told they couldn't keep it, gave it away as a leopard gecko to a woman with a child. And as I know, they still have it. Now they've given it a bigger enclosure, thank God. But Jesus fucking Christ. And it's moments like that make me sad, because like that kid, it was of course a young kid situation. Could you imagine being told like, oh yeah, you used to have a fucking monitor as a child and didn't know it? But back to my topic is like, unfortunately there are some animals in the hobby that I feel have to be the front linesmen to people entering the hobby, because even with all of the knowledge that I can spew at a human being, and all the creators, and all the people that call me a monster that create on TikTok too, all the content that they can make in the forefront still can't stop someone from saying, but I'm sure I can do that differently. Some people prove you wrong. Some people, they say, let me try this way, and it works for them. And if it works for them and the animal's healthy, I don't care. I'm fine with that. But then you'll meet these dumb motherfuckers. I have to disagree with a bearded dragon. I have to disagree with you on a bearded dragon because of the goddamn UV fucking B. I hate bearded dragons with a fiery fucking passion. If I could choose to murder any animal species off the face of the earth, it is bearded dragons. Because you have this annoying, pissed off, pointy rock that needs like the sun in its tank and all the time. And that's why you sell so many hatchlings. Because I refused to order them until I could get UVB lights. And now that I have a stockpile of them of like 5, now I'll sell them. Because I don't want a situation where I'm looking at a person, I'm like, hey, you have a really good deal on a bearded dragon here. You need this, this, and this, though. I don't have it. Buy. Because you know good and well they're not going to do that. And then it dies. And that's the honest truth. Because, I've heard the sales conversation at other pet stores when I've just been there looking and buying my own shit. I've heard it. And I've even tried to step in, and the one woman who was a Karen kind of looked at me like I was trying to rape her kid, because she was like, you don't work here, though. And I was like, ma'am, this guy is just trying to make $1 and help you get what you want. I'm the asshole that will tell you, hey, you don't need a bearded dragon. Because she was getting bearded dragon hatchling. She bought the tank. She bought a good tank. She got herself a 40-gallon. Give her that for a Karen. 40-gallon tank. That'll last that thing probably for the rest of its life. She got a heat light. But the guy was like, and then you need UVB. And she was like, but I got the heat light. And he was like, yeah, but you need it. She's like, but that light's expensive. Can I get it later? And he was like, I mean, you could get it Friday if it's like a pay issue, but not much on. She's like, okay, but you could tell in the condescending voice that she wasn't gonna go get that UVB. And so I'm like, well, you really need the UVB, and you need calcium and vitamin D for it so it doesn't get metabolic bone disease. And she's like, I've had a lizard before. And I was like, oh, what'd you have? And of course, a leopard gecko. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, but bearded dragon, you kind of need that or it's going to die. And she was like, Mister, that's when she said, Mister, he works here. He knows what he's talking about. So I was like, okay, I thought I'd step in, thank you. And I talked to that guy later when I went in there, probably, I want to say it was a couple weeks later. And I was like, hey, man, how's it going? He's like, oh, good, because he recognized me. And I was like, any word from that lady? He's like, yeah, she called complaining we sold her a sick lizard. I was like, really? Why's that? And she was like, its legs curled up. I was like, mm-hmm. He's like, and it didn't make it. I was like, almost like metabolic bone disease. And he was like, yeah. I was like, but remember, I don't work here. I don't know anything. He was like, I even tried telling her. I was like, I know you did, man. I was just trying to be the asshole you couldn't be. So, I hate bearded dragons. I want to make a series of videos called Fuck Bearded Dragons, because then you get it. And yeah, you have like the 5 on the internet that are friendly and cool, like Margot and shit like that. But then the rest of them are fucking assholes. They just sit there and stare at you, fucking out the corner of their eye, and they do this thing. And I want to see if I could make a graph to equate the number of bearded dragon owners who have also been in abusive relationships. Because they'll pour their life savings into these creatures, call them cute, adorable, and will go out of their way to give them, like, little furniture and shit in their cage, because my fiance is one of these people. Will bend their backs and break them to give this lizard a happy life. And the best they'll get out of this thing is it not shit on them when they pick it up. And even then, that's a 50-50. I just